Hey, what's up, everybody? Dr. Ryan Weaver here with Apex Spinal Performance. Today's wellness workshop. Today, we're going to be talking about something that is very well known in chiropractic care, but really throughout the rest of the community, a whole lot of people don't know about this, and it's called the safety pin cycle. So, before we get into the safety pin, and I even have our big visual aid right here, which is a massive safety pin. Before we get into that, do us a favor, go ahead and like and subscribe our YouTube channel and our Facebook channel. That way, you can get up to date post and anything that we share, testimonials, but also new things late and great happening here within our office at Apex. So, again, my mission and our mission in our community is to continue to push the status quo and always treat the cause, not the symptom. We believe that there is a vast difference in treating that. And most of healthcare nowadays is all based on how we feel. Well, we're really driven by how we heal and really our function in day-to-day life and being able to live our best life and really look for longevity and function. So let's dive into the safety pin cycle here. So again, as I mentioned, this is a very well-known thing within the chiropractic profession. And I don't know how many of you really have seen a safety pin lately, but when we review this, why this is such a good visual aid for us is something that we talk about within our office known as a subluxation. A subluxation to us is any disturbance or dysfunction, I should say, that doesn't allow our bodies to thrive. And when we look at that, you'll hear me in previous workshops reference that our body is the host. How good our host can fight off viruses, fight off injuries, fight off bacteria. The strength of the host allows us to, again, quote unquote, be healthier. So when we look at the safety pin, the top half and the bottom half, and it's basically a feedback loop. That's something people are usually most are more common with, a feedback loop, where we have information from our brain to our body and our body to our brain in anatomy and physiology, afferent, efferent. Basically, the information is constantly going throughout our bodies. And some fun facts about this. Did you know that our nervous system, the speed of an impulse is about 270, 280 miles per hour? So it happens very fast. Think about even touching a hot stove, how fast that can react. And you don't even think about it. So those are the things that we're talking about when we reference the safety pin cycle. So if there is a dysfunction here, and to show you the visual aid here, that becomes unhooked so that there's an interruption of getting information from our brain to our body and our body to our brain. So it's open. But again, when that's closed, everything's great, everything's happy, our body's communicating properly. And the next question, how does this happen? How do we have subluxations? And really, we believe in 3 T's. We talk about thoughts, we talk about traumas, and we talk about toxins. Trauma is the easiest one to think of. Poor posture, car accidents, falls, injuries in sports, all of those things. Those are traumas, which is easy to see how that can cause a dysfunction. Toxins is another one. You hear us talk about that a lot. What are the things that we're putting in our bodies? What are we eating? What are we drinking? Medications, antibiotics kill good and bad bacteria. We see the list of side effects through some medications. So what are we putting in our bodies? Processed foods, sugars, alcohols, tobaccos. What are we putting in our bodies? And then we talk about thoughts. Stresses, okay? I don't know really many people who, in our day and age in our world, aren't stressed. So we look at stresses, relationship stress, work stress, kid stress, financial stress, political stress, all kinds of stresses. And really to go on the opposite ends of this, usually the higher stress we have, the lower our body can function, the lower our health is. People get very sick and ill when they're super stressed out. Their body basically almost shuts down. So those are the 3 T's that we talk about within our office that can basically create subluxations. So with a subluxation and a safety pin cycle, we really want to shed some light on how important is our brain and spinal cord. How important is our central nervous system? And this is something that we typically don't address in day-to-day healthcare. But to put, again, more light on the subject, let's look at development, okay? I'm talking about cells. An embryo, sperm come together, two cells become one, and then as an adult, we have about 37.2 trillion cells in our body. In creation, 2 weeks after conception, something called our notochord starts to develop, okay? Week 4, our central nervous system is formed, and everything really stems off of that. So the first thing to really develop is our nervous system. Our brain and spinal cord are the only things totally covered in bone. Have you ever thought about this? You don't have any vital organs in your extremities. Our heart, our lungs, covered by our rib cage, yes. Our kidneys have very little protection at all. But our brain and our spinal cord are totally covered in bone. Some information about bone. By weight, a bone is actually stronger than steel, since a bar of steel of comparable size would weigh 4 or 5 times as much while having about the same compressive strength. So a cubic inch of bone can in principle bear a load of about 19,000 pounds, making it about 4 times as strong as concrete. So, also, one little final fact before we come back to that. Did you know that the human body has about 46 miles of nerves within our body? So, back to creation, our nervous system's the first thing that develops. It's totally covered in bone, but it happens to be some of the last things that we ever address. Our body has to be able to communicate itself. Even within a workplace, a team, a family, communication is the main thing. Our body has to know exactly what's going on and be able to basically fight off, again, traumas, injuries, bacteria, viruses, and all those things. So to bring this full circle and wrap this up here, we really want to focus on our body basically being that closed loop, our brain and body communicating as best as it can and as optimally as it can so that we can have the best host. Again, when we look at those thoughts, traumas, and toxins, what are we eating? What are we drinking? How's our stress? What are we doing for mental health? Traumas. Are we sitting at a desk for 12 hours a day and then looking at our cell phone and really hunched over? All those things add up, and we really need to think about how we take care of our spine differently and really for the rest of your life. You know, health is a choice. Health, every day, we're either moving closer to disease or closer to health. Every day. Every day is a reset. So I often hear people thinking of, especially in January, we're getting almost halfway through the year. That New Year's resolution, today can be a resolution. Tomorrow can be a resolution. So I'd urge you to make the change now, start thinking of your health differently, and start taking care of yourself differently for the rest of your life. So I hope you found some of this information new, some of this information to make you even provoke you to look at things differently, especially your spinal health. Again, definitely always have your spine checked by a chiropractor. Again, here within our office, we check babies all the way up to 90-year-old patients, so you don't have to be too old, too young. Everybody can get checked. So again, do us a favor, like, subscribe, our Facebook, YouTube channel. Hopefully we'll see you here soon, and God bless. We'll see you soon. Hey everybody, hope you enjoyed that spinal workshop. Don't forget to like the video if you learned something, and be sure to share it with somebody else who may benefit from that information discussed. Also, make sure you subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell so you are alerted whenever we post a video.